Hello friends. Now let us take up the sixth concept, PFT 1B6. As I told you already, in order to write functions effectively and easily, you must know each and every element thoroughly. That's why I am dissecting all the concepts and explaining in detail. Don't be lazy. Just maximum half a dozen concepts, 10 concepts, not half a dozen. You have to study. With that, you will be perfect. Once you write functions and all that, then you will be perfect over that. Thereafter, whenever you are writing a function-oriented program, you can save a lot of time. Otherwise, every time you have to waste a lot of time. That's why you focus on each and every element and try to understand it practically. Okay. Now, components of a function. I explained through the previous example only. By that you can easily grasp. Now, def. You have to start with this def keyword. Thereafter, we are writing a function, calculate sum. Already explained to you. That's why the same example I have taken. Whatever name you give, that should start with a verb, and it indicates what it is doing. Every function is doing certain job. Okay, so it indicates what it is doing. So you start with a verb. That's a good convention. And simplified, you need not write bigger names and all that. Actually, giving names is not a so easy thing. In my aspect, it is the most difficult thing. So, meaningful name you give. This is not dash, this is underscore. So, and thereafter, as I told you already, some functions take argument, some functions do not take argument. Already you have seen the classification in the previous concept. Now you see, this is taking arguments. That's why x, y. Okay. Okay. Now this is called, whole thing is called function header. This is on the head of the function we are writing this line. Invariably for every function definition we write, this is known as function header. Thereafter, this is very important because in other C family of languages you never find this. Indentation means there we write braces, curly braces. Here we don't write. Here block is created by using indentation. Indentation means 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a standard indentation. Whatever code you have to write, you write here only. Then you can treat it. It is in the block. Whatever code you have written, that is in the block. Now immediately after that, what is the convention? This is also convention, not a rule. A doc string is written. This is a comment. A comment. Actually, what this function is doing, what is the task of this function, we explain. In a simple words, we write calculating sum of two args or arguments we write. It should be a string. Always you remember that. And I have written within this thing. This is called doc string. Okay. Thereafter, we have to calculate sum. Once you calculate and derive a value, it should be stored in certain variable. So, one meaningful name we give sum. Then, what is the formula? X plus y. You are writing. So, this is the local variable. Why you are calling it as a local variable? Within the body of a function we are writing, that is accessible within the function only. Outside elements cannot access this. This is a local variable. Okay, this is the executable statement. Okay, our job is over. Function's job is over. Then what we have to do? We have to return it. Return is a keyword. Using return, we have to return it. So this is the definition. Now I explain all the terminology with reference to this. Okay, this is the function header. In the function header, what are the components? One is the name of the function, and second one, these are called parameters or formal arguments. Parameters are formal arguments. Okay, don't confuse with that. So here we write that whatever number. So it is optional. In some functions, there are no arguments. Already we have seen functions with no arguments. Suppose print line function is there, no arguments are to be passed. So thereafter, this is a common error for beginners. You have to write a colon here. With that, the header is terminated. Thereafter, docstring we have to write. Docstring is nothing but explaining, like a comment, explaining the task of the function. Okay, that we write in a simple words, and one, it is optional, but not a rule, but you must do that. If you want to evolve as a good programmer, you must give respect to all the conventions like rules. Okay, now we see this is the local variable, this is the executable statement, this is the return statement. In this way, any function we write. Okay, what are the optional things? These are optional, and this is optional. Already I told you, a function with no arguments, with no return value. A function with arguments with no return value, then return statement will not be there. This is the function definition. Thereafter, once a function is defined in a program, okay, how it is used? You have to call it. You have to call it means how you call it? Somewhere where it is required, then you write within the program. You write that calculate sum, and it wants values. It wants values. That's why you put something 10, 5. Actually, whatever you are giving should match with this in number, in type, and order. So how many are there? 2. How many arguments you can pass? 2 arguments you can pass. So number, order, x value you want to give first argument, argument 10, second argument 5. So same order you put. Type also. Suppose if you are expecting int type and all that, here you give int type only. Okay. So it should be matched. Then when you call this, this is what you call? This is called function call. Actually, one thing you remember, a program is a big program, a function is a small program. Okay, now this is, if you treat like a machine, one machine like a fan or AC or some other grinder, etc. This is the switch. A function call is switch. Then what happens? Because of function call, what happens? This goes here, this goes here. 10 is assigned to x, 5 is assigned to y. In turn, they come here. 10 plus 5, 15. Then it is stored, 15 is stored here. Then when it returns, 15 is returned. Now what you have to write? Some are a variable you have to write s. Actually what happens? It returns, na? Again it comes. Then the 15 value is stored here. Once again I am telling you, this is a function definition. It is like a machine, and this is like a switch. Whenever you switch on, if it requires arguments, you have to pass. 10 and 5 is passed. In turn, sum is calculated. It becomes 15. 15 is returned. Where it goes? Again, it comes here. Then it takes it. Then it should be stored. For that purpose, one variable you define. In that it is stored. So this is called function call. These are called actual arguments. These are called formal arguments or parameters. These things don't confuse. Initially, everybody confuses. So after writing 2-3 functions, you will be very comfortable. But one thing I am sure, don't understand them routinely. Just with reference to my example, I told you this is like a small machine. This is the switch. Whenever you make a function call, then only it is executed. Otherwise, it is static, like your fan. Once you switch on, it start working. Now, you see all the elements in one place. The function definition, as I told you, it is like a small program, and it takes either 0 or any number of arguments. 0 or any number of arguments, that you have to understand. Function call is like a switch, and whenever it is called, then only the function definition, whatever statements are there in function definition, those are executed. And actual arguments I told you, with the function call we pass whatever we pass, those are called actual arguments. Thereafter, formal arguments. Already I told you in the function header, what we write, those are called formal arguments or parameters. Finally, if function returns, that return statement will come. And here one point you have to remember, what is that? A function can return maximum one value. That means 0 or 1 value. If function does not return any value, you need not write the return statement.